One suggestion I would have here is to change out the doorknob from the turn to a push down or the handle one for easy pull, and to maybe expand this landing out towards the parking lot a little better, because it is kind of small and narrow. So even though it does comply with ADA regulations, it is hard, or I would think it would be hard to turn around while still opening the door, even if the door handle was changed. Some changes I would recommend making here is to raise the handicap sign. It is currently on the handrail of the ramp, which makes it very low and hard to see. I would also maybe repaint the lines of the walkway and just in general, just so it's brighter and it's easier to see as to where people can and cannot park, and which is the designated handicap parking space. I would also add clearer signs as to where the ramp starts. It does seem kind of obvious because you can see it, but it might be hard for people to see where the ramp starts, as you have to walk around that tree in order to get to the start of the ramp. Here's the ramp to get up to the stairs. One thing I would suggest here is just redoing it. It is kind of a little bit in disarray, and the cracks in between the concrete are wider than they should be, which can make it hard to roll over in a wheelchair. And as you can see, 2 slabs in, it kind of has disappeared completely, so you're kind of having this like patch of dirt with a dip down before being able to go up the ramp safely.
So one suggestion that I would make is in this hallway. So one thing I was thinking is if we could find something to cover up this grate when it's not in use. It's an AC vent. And if we could just find something to either put over it, or the grate's removable, if we could put something in it so it's a little more flush with the floor to make it a little easier to navigate through this hallway. Another suggestion is this span is very narrow. It's only 36 inches, so the door would have to remain shut at all times, unless someone is of course coming up or down the stairs. Because if it's left open, even just a little bit, it's going to be too narrow and no one's going to be able to get through the hallway. So one other suggestion I would make is to navigate this area easier in order to get to the table, is to move this hutch. It can be pushed that way just a couple inches, and then the removal of this bar stool so it's a little wider, because between the bar stool and the hutch, I think it's only like 36 inches, or just about 36 inches, so it needs to just be a little wider for a little more comfort. And then here at the counter, the height of it is 36 inches, so someone could come up parallel to it, but as you can tell, the end of it's really cluttered. So if we could keep it clear and uncluttered so it's easier for somebody to, in a wheelchair, to use, because the rest of it is just really not that usable. This space is too narrow. On the other side where the oven is too narrow, and then where the bar stools are, it's too high for someone who's sitting in a wheelchair to use comfortably. So lastly, in the bathroom, the doorway is just 36 inches, and unfortunately there's not much we can do about that, but we could remove this bath mat that's on the ground to create, because currently even just standing on it, it's very slippery and it moves around. Something that I saw was the soap. Oh, there we go. That's on the sink. Maybe we could put it on the wall here, either over it this way, so it's a little easier to reach with someone in a wheelchair, rather than having to reach over the sink, because the sink I think is like 16 inches in depth, so it's a little too wide. And then to lower the mirror is currently at 47 inches, I think, so somebody sitting in a wheelchair can't see in it, and that's a fairly simple fix to just make it a little lower. Unfortunately, the structure of this bathroom, like we have the wall jet out here, it just is not very user-friendly, so if we could do everything possible to make it user-friendly and make it a little more comfortable, I think that would be best. If we could leave like this area of the table chair free, then a wheelchair would have a much easier time getting up to it. There's plenty of room for a wheelchair to come into the room and then be able to turn around to sit at the table. But it would have to be kind of in the middle of these two legs as they jut out a little too far on the sides.